Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 30. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Paribrajacacharya Astotara Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 30. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasadyatma cetasa nirashir nirmano bhutva yudhyasva vigata jvaraha. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasadyatma cetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhasva vigata jvaraha. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasadyatma cetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhasva vigata jvaraha. Mai unto me, sarvani all sorts of, karmani activities, sannyasya giving up completely. Adhyatma, with full knowledge of the self. Cetasa, consciousness. Nirashihi, without desire for profit. Nirmamaha, without ownership. Bhutva, so being. Yudhasva, fight. Vigata jvaraha, without being lethargic. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with mind intent on me, and without desire for gain, and free from egotism and lethargy, fight. Purport. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties, as if in military discipline. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight, and as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord, and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Cetasa. Nirashihi means that one has to act on the order of the Master, nor should one expect fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purport of Maiyo, unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called nirmama, or nothing is mine. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration, or so-called kinsman or bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become vigata jvara, or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duty may be discharged in Krishna consciousness as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. My sarvani karmani sanyasyadhyatma cetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yadhashva vigate jvaraha. The beauty of the Bhagavad Gita is that every word spoken by Krishna is perfect. For example, this verse is one verse in the 700 verses of the Gita, but this verse on its own contains the entire philosophy. And the philosophy is that we are not independent actors. we are dependent on the Supreme Lord. Even if we don't accept, we have to accept we are dependent on material nature. We are dependent on the sunlight. We are dependent on the rain. We are dependent on the seasons. We are dependent on the earth. We are dependent on the air. We are dependent on everything at every moment. And it is foolish and counterproductive to claim otherwise. To claim to be independent of material nature is simply childish. A child, he may say, I am independent of my parents. And he acts that way. A child, he will play with his toys and he will act independently of his parents, thinking I can do whatever I want. But in reality, the adult knows that the child is fully dependent on his parents. Even Krishna, when he was a child, when he was playing the part of a child for the pleasure of his devotees, like Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj and their elderly gopi friends, even Krishna, he would play and he would not accept the authority of his parents. His mother would call him, Krishna, come, it is time for lunch, and Krishna would refuse to come. So she would send Mother Rohini, her friend, Balaram's mother, and Mother Rohini would also call, my dear Balaram, my dear Krishna, please come, it is time to take your lunch. So the boys, they would be ready to go back, but then their friends would say, no, don't go, we are at the height of our play. If you leave now, you will never play with us again. So Krishna would forget to go back and he would again engage in playing. So Mother Yashoda herself would have to come to the edge of the playing field and call Krishna, please come. And then she used one trick to get him, and the trick was that if you don't come, your father is sitting ready to take lunch and he cannot eat without your presence. So you come so your father can eat. So out of respect for his father, Nanda Baba, then Krishna and Balaram, they would give up the play and accept the authority of Mother Yashoda. But the tendency of children is not to accept the authority of the Lord. So in the same way, if we look around in the material world, if we look at our friends, our community, our nations, our philosophy, the way we are educated, the way we are given example by our politicians, our teachers, our sportsmen, our actors and famous people, if we looked at the whole plethora of our immediate consciousness, we can see that although we pay lip service to Mother Nature, although some even pay lip service to God, in actuality we don't believe. We believe we are independent. We believe we can do whatever we want. And this philosophy comes from the materialistic philosophy that there is no soul, that when we die everything is finished. Just recently I was reading online on one of the main news outlets, one famous scientist proudly proclaiming there is no evidence that there is life after death. Science does not believe in life after death. This is the natural result of years and years of believing in material evolution, that we come from the monkeys and one day we'll become God, that there is no individual soul, and then when we die everything is finished, and therefore when we act we can do whatever we want because there will be no retribution. So by hook or by crook, get money, get enjoyment at the expense of others, and if you're able to do it without being, even illegally, without being caught by the authorities, then you're considered to be a great man. The more money you have, the more respect you will get. The more money you have, the more sense enjoyment you will enjoy. But the fact is, the sense enjoyment is becomes hackneyed. Hackneyed means it is enjoyable in the beginning, but the more you try to enjoy, it becomes less and less enjoyable. Boy meets girl, they fall in love, they enjoy sex life, they get married, and after some time, the enjoyment of the senses between man and woman they become satiated. It is not pleasant anymore. It is not new anymore. The boy starts looking somewhere else. The girl starts looking somewhere else. And then there is divorce. And in anything, any material pleasure becomes quickly satiated. And therefore, we are not happy. It is a fact that there is pleasure in the material world. But that pleasure in the material world is like drops of water in the desert. I don't know about you, but I spent almost 1 year in the Sahara Desert working for an oil company many, many years ago. And the desert is infinite. It is just mountain after dune, hill after hill of sand. There is no water there. But there is water. Here and there is an oasis. There's a little bit of water. But it is like drops of water. The desert, to flourish, requires unlimited amounts of water, oceans of water. But there is only drops. So in the same way, we require unlimited enjoyment, but we're only getting a drop at a time. Unlimited enjoyment can only be experienced when we connect with the unlimited provider of that enjoyment. A material lover will give us temporary enjoyment, but the supreme lover, Krishna, because he's supreme, he will give us supreme enjoyment, unlimited enjoyment. And to experience this enjoyment with Krishna, we have to understand that we are spirit soul. We can understand we are spirit soul when we control our material senses. When we meditate on our spirituality and hear about the spiritual kingdom, hear about Krishna, hear about our eternal relationship with Krishna, then gradually we become convinced that we are the spirit and that the spirit never dies. Once that awakens and we engage in our connection with the spirit, then gradually our loving propensity becomes uncovered. Lord Chaitanya says that it is already there in our heart. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Shadya Kabunai. That Krishna Prema, love of God, or Krishna Bhakti, devotion to God, it is eternally present within our heart. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta. Our consciousness becomes cleansed by hearing and chanting Karai Udoy. And that eternal love of God, eternal connection we have with God becomes automatically manifested. Prabhupada believed this, as against many sadhus in India. They paid lip service to this. They never believed that Westerners could become devotees of Krishna. They had 700 years of Muslim rule in India and then another 200 years of British rule, and hardly any Muslim and hardly any Britisher became a pure devotee of Krishna. Practically no one. The belief in India was very strong that people outside India could not understand what is devotion, what is bhakti, what is Krishna, and what is Krishna's relationship with us. But Prabhupada believed. He believed the words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Krishna Prema is Nitya Siddha. It is eternally present in everyone. Even in, what to speak of the Americans and Westerners, it is also present in every animal, in every living being. It is present because it is our constitutional position. It's who we are. We are actually spiritual beings, and we have an eternal loving relationship with God. When that loving relationship with God is awakened, we become fully satisfied. When we ignore the need to awaken that reality, we remain in material consciousness, and remaining in material consciousness means taking birth after birth after birth. If we put all our attention, all our expectations, all our desires in the material senses, then when the body becomes old, because senses means the body means senses, when the body becomes old and the senses become weak, then we cannot enjoy and we suffer. And when we come to the moment of death, because of this attachment to the body, we take another birth. Therefore, Krishna says in the 8th chapter, Tasmad sarveshu kaleshu mat asnus anusmara yudyacha. Therefore, Arjuna, because of this philosophy of the soul, at all times, sarveshu kaleshu, mat anusmara, think of me and fight. My arpita mano buddhir, my mevaishashya samsaya. My arpita means to offer in devotion. So what do you offer? My arpita, offer in devotion to me what? Mano buddhir, your mind and your intelligence. How do we engage our mind and our intelligence for the pleasure of Krishna? We do that by hearing from the proper source, by hearing from Srila Prabhupada, by reading Prabhupada's books, by chanting the holy name of Krishna as ordered by Srila Prabhupada. And this chanting process is given especially in Kali Yuga by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his appearance, Lord Chaitanya's appearance, is specifically meant to give us love of God, which is not normally easily available. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Jiva Doya Kori, to give mercy to the living entities, Swaparshad, with his associate, Suyadham, with his entourage, with his kingdom, Sa Avatari. He has come down to the material platform. And what is the purpose of Lord Chaitanya's mission? Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kori Baredhan. He gave the gift, the dhan, of Krishna Prema, Atyanta Durlabha Prema, that love which is Atyanta Durlabha. Atyanta means very, very, and Dura means difficult, and Labha means is to get. Atyanta Durlabha, difficult to get, love, Kori Baredan, how? Shikhaye Sharanagati Bhakatera Pran, by teaching us the process of Sharanagati, or surrendering to the goal of life, which is Krishna. So in this verse, Krishna is telling Arjuna, you fight according to my direction. You dedicate your mind and your intelligence to me. By doing that, you will not only be happy in this life, but you will be practiced to remember me at the moment of death. And when the moment of death comes, if you remember me, you don't take another birth. The reason we take birth after birth in the material world is because we identify with the body, because we want to enjoy our senses, and therefore we get senses after senses after senses, in body after body after body. Not to speak of the reactions of our activities. If we act sinfully, then we get sinful reaction. But even if we act piously, we get reactions in a pious way. That means sinful or pious, we have to take birth after birth after birth to balance those books, to balance the karma. Therefore, in the Bhagavad, in the 8th chapter, Krishna says that Antakale chamameva smaram mutva kalevaram. One who remembers at the moment of death, at the moment of giving up his body, mukta kalevaram. Kalevaram means body, and mukta means to give up. So antakale, at the moment of death, anta means at the end, kale means time, smaran, thinking, yaprayati vad bhavan, he will achieve my destination. Yati Nasri Atasamshaya. Krishna assures us there is no doubt. If you remember me at the moment of death, then you will not take another birth in the material world. And how do we remember Krishna at the moment of death? By practicing when we're alive. The more we control our senses by offering them in the service of Krishna, the more we dedicate our life and soul to the service of Krishna, the more we become certain of our spiritual identity, the more we become sure of our connection with Krishna. In fact, that connection becomes so positive and so real within our heart that even in the most disturbing circumstances, that connection will not break. And I don't have to tell you that the most disturbing circumstance comes at the moment of death. Then you cannot lie, you cannot pretend. Whatever your bhava is, whatever your nature is, will come to the fore at the moment of death, because nothing can protect you. Therefore Krishna continues, yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram. When you give up your body, ante kalevaram, yam yam vapi smaram bhavam, whatever nature you remember. Bhava doesn't just mean remember. Bhava means what is your nature, who you really are. Tam tam eva hiti konteya sadatat bhava bhavita. To that state you will go, my dear Arjuna. Do not be doubtful on this, that whatever your consciousness is at the moment of death, that consciousness will become realized in your next birth. What to speak of the karma, good or bad, which you have accumulated in this life. The only way to become free from karma is to execute every activity in connection with Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. First of all, accept that Krishna is the supreme proprietor. He says in the 10th chapter that aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. So everything is coming from me. Everything manifested is sourced by me. It belongs to me. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samamvita. One who understands this, he engages himself very strenuously in my service. And when you are engaged in Krishna's service, you become, that connection becomes manifested by his mercy. And once you have that connection, nothing else will disturb you. Nothing in the material world and nothing anywhere will disturb you. So, in this verse, Krishna, it says that your chetasa, your consciousness, Arjuna, should be without desire for profit. Nirashi and nirmamaha, without ownership. In other words, you do your work, you're allowed to do your work. Krishna said, yad karoti, yad ashnashi, whatever you do, whatever you eat, yad juhoshi, whatever you offer in sacrifice, dadase yat, whatever you give in charity, tat kurushva madarpanam, do that for my pleasure. Why should we do all this for Krishna's pleasure? Because Krishna is the source of all pleasure. Krishna is the source of the material universes. No one can claim that he created this earth. No one can claim that he is the greatest, the most knowledgeable, the most famous, the most powerful, the most wealthy, the most detached. That is Krishna. These are the qualities of Krishna. Krishna has all these qualities to an unlimited degree, and he claims to have these qualities. If you read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you hear from Srila Prabhupada, if you hear his lectures, then you will understand Krishna's position. You will get a clue of what is your nature. You will get a clue on how to get out of this material world. Then, antakale chamameva smara mukta kalevara. Then you will be able to remember Krishna at the moment of death. This is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not some sentimental situation. It's not some sentimental activity. It is the science of awakening our spirituality. And it is meant for devotees. Of course, everyone in our higher sense is a devotee, but not everyone is ready to become Krishna conscious. We were not ready to be Krishna conscious, but Prabhupada, he wanted us to become Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada came from India to America with an intense desire to speak the message of Krishna and a great hope that somebody would listen. So because of his desire, because of his hope, Krishna made possible that some of us became awakened to Krishna Prabhupada's message. Not because of our piety, not because we had any quality. We were all hippies, simply lying in the road, smoking ganja and getting high and chasing after ladies and ladies chasing after men and listening to rock and roll music. We had no piety, we had no desire to understand our relationship with Krishna. We certainly had no desire to give up our sense gratification. But because of Prabhupada's desire, Krishna acted through him and he made us qualified. Therefore, pray to Prabhupada. Most of us now, most of you listening are actually grandchildren of Prabhupada. The grandfather is always very, very merciful to his grandchildren, even more than the parents. So pray to Prabhupada, ask for his help, and very soon you will become free from this material consciousness and become sure that no matter what happens, at the moment of death, I will remember Krishna and Krishna will protect me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we have some comments. Mandi Prior, Hare Krishna, Krishna Premavati, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. And obeisances to all the attending devotees. Anna Maria, Hare Krishna, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Vishnivamsa, honor Krishna always, all the time. Anna Maria continues, thanks for the class. I feel a relief of meeting devotees in this life. I am eternally thankful to Srila Prabhupada and devotees all over the world. I couldn't have said it better myself. Wonderful. Yes, Krishna Premavati says, Krishna boldly claims that he is the Supreme Lord. That's right. He claims he's the Supreme Lord. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. There are 4 verses in the Gita which are considered to be the root, the most important. 10, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 10th chapter. So in the first one, Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. Everything is coming from me. So Machita, the second, Machita Madgata Prana. That my devotees always think of me. They know me as the destination of life. Bodhayantas Paras. They help each other to understand Krishna consciousness. This, like what we're doing now. I'm trying to explain what my feelings are in relation with Krishna, and you are hearing. We require each other. This is called Bodhayantas. Namasyantas Shamam Nityam Nitya Yukta Upasate. And then Tatam Itam, I forget. Anyhow, Krishna says this is within the heart and he gives us intelligence. Dadhami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Those who worship me, satata yuktanam, always satata, bhajatam, worship me, priti purvakam, with love and devotion. Dadami. Dati means to give and ami is me. Krishna says, I give buddhi yogam. Buddhi yogam tam. I give them buddhi yoga, or special intelligence, through which yenamam upayantite. They can come to me. Thank you very much. So, if you have any more comments, please type them in, and I will see you on Friday. Hari Bol.